Hi, I'm Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full yoga practice. This week, we're working with the theme of fulfillment. And that doesn't mean doing more. It just means being content in who you are in this moment, in this practice, and being fully present. So we're also going to focus on back bending and forward bending and openings. And before we get started, I always practice with a set of yoga blocks and a little towel, but props aren't necessary. So let's take a moment to go inward, and then I'll meet you at the front of the mat. Starting in Samasthiti, standing still and straight. So just take a moment to notice your alignment, feeling some energy from the floor into the legs, up through the hips, pulling the belly in, and getting a sense of really opening the sternum. And then from here, we're going to start Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms fully. Feel that length. Exhale, fold. Keep the belly lifted as you fold. Inhale here, look up and lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back to a plank. Pause in the plank and notice, can you be here fully? Is your butt up or are you sinking? Really strong. And then I'm going to come to the knees to lower, but you could stay there if you could hold the body line as we lower and rise. Let's come through to upward facing dog. Inhale, lift the sternum, gazing down the nose and up, and then exhale, downward facing dog. And adjust once you're there. You could even bend the knees here to get the back lengthened and straighten. You could do that a few times. Bend maybe and straighten. You could also work with your shoulders here. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders open a little bit. Maybe you want to roll the other way. Just notice what's going on in your body. And then inhale, exhale. Feel the fullness of the pose. There's so much going on. And then from here, let's make our way up to the front. Just slowly notice. This is fulfillment, right? You're just trying to notice what's going on. And fold. Inhale, lengthen and rise. And exhale, let the hands come down. And let's do it again. Inhale, reach. Finding fullness. Exhale. So it's not about striving to go really deep, especially when we're just starting out. Inhale, you get your fulfillment from moving fully, but yet honoring what your body needs in this moment, lowering down or getting the most out of every movement. I love that. Come forward, lift the sternum, and exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here, inhale. Feel how your back is lengthening. If you bend the knees, you can get your chest closer to your legs so it's not rounding. And breathe. You can play around with the shoulders, elevating and maybe depressing. And then elevating and rolling away from your ears, getting the most out of it, right? And then we'll make our way up, pushing down, your way all the way up. And fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hands down. Now we're going to go to Surya Namaskar B. I'm going to offer the blocks as a modification to give you some height, to make it easier to step forward and back. So we'll bend the knees, inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. I'm going to lightly hop back, lift up, go back, and then let's go ahead and lower. Keeping that body line, pulling the belly in, rise, come forward. Inhale, lift the sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to step the right foot forward for a lunge. So as you rise up, notice the work in your legs. Bend the back knee for a moment, keeping your gaze down, and try to tuck that left butt under, pulling the right butt back. Now keep that as we engage the back. So as we come into angel arms, the shoulders draw down and they're going, your back is engaging. Then you start to keep the left butt engaged as you straighten the back leg. Reach. Are you fulfilled in this moment? Keep reaching up to go back. And then inhale, rise up. Reach forward, pull the right butt back. Take the hands down, pause. We're gonna come into a twist. Feel how the spine is so mobile, you're opening. Roll the shoulders open. Try not to turn the hips too much. And then we're gonna step back. Let's go ahead and lower. And rise. And then come through, lifting the sternum. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna step the left foot forward. Find your gaze, your drishti. And then we're gonna bend the back knee and really get that right butt under. Now we're adding angel arms. So the shoulders come down and the back is engaged now. As you start to go back, you start to straighten that back leg, keeping that under the butt engaged. Reach, find the full pose as you reach up and back. And then inhale, start to reach forward. Take the hands down. And then try not to turn the hips very much, but turn the spine from the thoracic spine up. You just really feel the openness there. And then take the hands down, step back, hold that plank for a moment, and let's lower down. And rise up. And coming through to upward facing dog. Lift the sternum, feel the back engage as the front opens. And then downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. Feeling the lift of your belly, it's supportive. Inhale. And exhale. And the breath makes the practice much fuller as well. Inhale. And exhale. If you want to try, you can lightly hop up, or you could step up, find a little target if you're hopping, and put the feet down. And bending the knees, reaching the arms, coming back to Utkatasana, and come to stand. We'll do one more. Bend the knees, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and let's make it our way back. Lift up, and lower. Inhale, rise. Let's come through. Open the sternum, lifting. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna come into warrior one. So step the right foot forward, take the back foot down. As you rise up, you're gonna need to turn the ribs, keeping that left butt under. Let's reach. Inhale, fulfilled and reaching. Everything's working. Breathe, you can just feel the fullness of the warrior one. And lift the back heel, reach forward, take the hands down, step back. Let's go ahead and lower. And rise and come through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Other side. Step the left foot forward, take the back foot down. You're gonna really need to turn these ribs. Keep that right butt under, left butt pulling back. Here it is, the fullness of the pose. Inhale, exhale, take it back. Move with your breath. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. You can lift the back heel and really reach forward. Take the hands down, step back, and lower. And rise. And then let's come through. Lift the sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's breathe here. So keep the lift of your belly. Inhale. Exhale. And just notice you feel a little bit warmer now. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Now, if you're lightly hopping up, just find that gaze point. Then lift and lightly put the feet down. Bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's take the feet hip width. And from here, really lift the belly, pull in, keep your low back engaged so you're not rounding. If you have to bend your knees a little at first, that's okay. Then try to straighten as you gaze forward, engaging the front of the legs to stretch the back as we now fold in. And just go to where it feels full in your body. We're stretching the back of the legs. Exhale, pull the belly in. Shoulders are relaxed. You could be actually drawing the shoulders down and pulling down. Inhale, lengthen. Let's come halfway up. Feel the back engaged here. And then rising up. And then exhale, we'll come to Samasthiti. Now I'm going to set the blocks up. And we're going to flow with some standing postures. So let's go ahead and step out. And we'll start with Trikonasana. Take a nice long stance. And I really want you to feel the legs and the hips. So as you come forward here, it's like you're pulling this right butt back and you're deepening the crease here. And then move your block, or you could have your hand here, anywhere along the leg, to where it's under the armpit, the block, if you're using it. And then turn and breathe and just feel the fullness of the pose. You can feel this hip. Some of you might feel the hamstrings. And then you might even feel a heart opening here as you open. And then inhale. Feel how you have to use the legs, the hips, to come up. And we'll just pivot to the other side. So moving with your breath, inhale, exhale. Feel this hip crease deepen. A nice stretch here, and then open the sternum and the chest as you breathe. It's a really full pose, a lot going on. And then using your breath, inhale, and your legs and your hips rise up. Let's pivot to the right, Parvrita Trikonasana. So now the hips are facing one direction. As we reach the left arm up, we're going to pull the right hip back. Try to keep your spine long so you align the crown of your head with the tailbone as you take your hand down. You could be here too. And then we're going to reach the right arm and start to turn. But try not to turn the hips very much. It's the spine. Turning, turning, turning. And then inhale and rise up. Feel how you use your legs there. Let's pivot. So we'll reach the right arm up. Pull the left hip back. Align the crown of your head with the tailbone so your spine is long as you twist. You're twisting from the middle of the back all the way up. Feel that. Turning. That's where we're more mobile. Turning. Turning. Breathing. Feeling the fullness of the pose. And then inhale, rise up. Now let's come into Warrior Two. So nice long stance. And then let's go ahead and bend the front knee, but try not to lean forward. Do your best to stay straight in the center and open across the sternum. It's a strong pose, Warrior Two. Breathe nice and fully. Inhale. And now we'll come into Utthita Parshvakonasana, side angle. So you could take your forearm here, circle the arm, or you could have your hand here, or use a prop. Or some of you might come to the floor, but reach, feel the side body all the way from the pinky finger to the outer edge of the left foot and turn the right ribs. And then inhale, rise up. Let's go to the other side. Starting in Warrior Two, so try not to lean forward, straight down, opening the sternum, inhale and exhale. Utthita Parshvakonasana, so you could be here, or here. I'm going to go here and turn those left ribs. Reach, breathe. And then inhale, rising up. And let's come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So it just means spread out, intense forward bend. So go wide and start to come forward, hinging at the hips. You can take your hands down and look up to lengthen. And then let's do the yogi toe lock. So you just hold on to the big toe and pull your body down. If you needed to, you could use a block here and breathe, whatever level you need. It's just nice to make contact with the head, but you don't have to. Breathe, shoulders away from your ears. Just feeling that energy. Make sure you're really engaged in the front of the legs. Then you'll get a nicer stretch in the back. And we'll rise up. Let's turn this to goddess pose. So turn the feet out and start to come down. And just notice, where's your pelvis? Is it forward? Is it back? Find a place where you feel like you're actively opening the knees and you're sinking down. So the stretches in the inner thighs, and you're working these external rotators. So play around with that. Where are you with your pelvis? And find that place, and then you might find that you go down deeper and you find the fullness in the pose. And then inhale, rise up. And then let's go ahead and take a step up to the front, Samasati. And now I'm going to move the blocks so that we can come into Vrikshasana, or tree pose. You could stand in front of a wall if you wanted some assistance. And we're just going to take this pose into what feels full to you. So we'll start with just really engaging the muscles in that left leg and the hip, and then start to bring the right leg up. Keep your focus a little down and forward. And then from here, start to bring the leg in and notice what's going on in here. Can you keep that? Stay here if this is feeling good. Or for those of you who want to, we're going to start to engage the back, and we change the focus, and you reach up, and you can use that wall if you need it. Reach up, and then breathe, feel the fullness, and then slowly changing your gaze, bringing everything back down. And we'll do the other side. So left leg comes up. Feel the reach down through that right side. Open the knee, keeping the gaze. And maybe you want to stay here. Or maybe you want to find more energy in the pose, so you engage the back. And maybe this is more fulfilled for you to really go into a back bend here. Lift up, up. And then slowly changing your gaze, bringing everything back together and coming down. And then we'll come to the front of the mat, Samasati. Inhale, we're going to work our way down to the floor, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back just to a downward facing dog and pause for a moment. Just notice where you're at now in your down dog. And then we'll make our way up to the front. You could walk up, or you could lightly kind of step up. And then let's practice this really coming down to the floor without using our hands very much. They're there for support, and making your way down. And then sit up really tall, Dandasana. So notice, is your back rounded? Or maybe you need to bend the knees to really get this position, or maybe you need to sit up on a block, but just find that. And then we're going to come into Paschimottanasana. So if you have a hard time reaching your toes and your back rounds, use a prop. Or you could just keep your hands here, but you could use the prop in that you could bend the knees. You could even have a longer towel or a yoga belt, keeping the back engaged, and then try to straighten the legs and come forward. Some of you might not need it, or some of you might have your hands here. That's okay too. But lengthen the low back, and then shoulders away from your ears. Find a place where you fold. Breathe. So your back doesn't have to be flat here. You can round the upper back. Once you've extended fully through the low back, it's okay to then round the upper back a little. Shoulders away from your ears. Engage the front of the legs, getting the most out of Paschimottanasana. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, we'll release. And those of you who have tighter hamstrings, you might want to bring this prop with you for the next series. We're going to do Supta Utthita Padangustasana. So sitting up, we're going to start with a roll back. Inhale here. Exhale, engaging the legs. You're curling the belly in to support the back. And we're going down to the floor. Keep the legs engaged, coming all the way down. And then once we're here, we're going to go ahead and bend the right knee. And just kind of pull it into your chest for a moment and really deepen that hip crease. Now we're going to hold on to the back of the leg and try and straighten the leg. Now just notice where you are here. You could keep your hands here if you didn't want to use a prop, but if your hamstrings were tight and you couldn't grab your toe, we're going to bend, use the prop. It could be a longer yoga belt, and then straighten your leg. And just see how that feels. Straighten the leg. Some of you can grab your toe. That's okay. Wherever you are. Or maybe you're holding here. but you want to feel the stretch. And now from here, we're going to take the leg out to the side. So first take the left arm out and start to open that right leg out. Notice, does this hip come up? Try not to let that happen, even if you have to bend the knee a little bit. So you could even be holding here, but some of you can grab the toe. Maybe you want to look over that left shoulder as you open out. You should be feeling the inner thigh on this right leg. And you might be getting a stretch here too. And then inhale, bring the leg back. Now this is the tricky one. We're going to go across the other way. So if you're using your belt or your towel, you could pull it this way. You could also just have your hand here. Some of you might be able to grab the outside of your foot, roll the right shoulder open, and you roll to the outer edge of that left foot and pull this butt down. This one's intense, so you might be up here and be going, but that's okay. Breathe through it. Make it full, but don't make it punishment. You should be able to breathe through it and find release. And then bring the leg up. Let's go ahead and bend the knee deep into the armpit now. And then try to straighten one more time. And then we'll slowly release the leg down. Release the leg down. And notice, once you're down, the difference in your leg length. It's kind of awesome. Let's bend the left knee and let's go ahead and pull that knee in. We'll do the same thing to this side. Pull the knee in and then straighten your leg. Do the best you can. And then some of you might want to use your prop. Straighten, or you're just holding on here, or some of you might be able to grab your toe. But keep this right hip down. Notice this is popping up. You want to really, maybe you need to lower the leg. Keep this leg active. And then inhale here. Now we're going to exhale, take the leg out to the side. So you could hold on here, here, big toe. Maybe you take your gaze over to the right, keeping this leg engaged. I press through the big toe mound and really push. So you really don't want this happening. Really try to open and turn to face your right hand if you can. And then inhale, let the leg come up. And now the hard one. We're going to go over the other way. You could hold on here. So you were rolling to the outer edge of the right foot. Start to come over and really pull this left butt down. You might be feeling this nice stretch here. Some of you might be able to grab the outside of the foot and breathe. Maybe you want to gaze over the left fingertips, left shoulder. Breathe. Inhale, rise up. Let's go ahead and bend the knee one more time by the armpit. Just really feel that. And try not to move where your knee is as you straighten. Get one more hamstring stretch. And then we'll release. And very slowly, see if you can let the leg come all the way down. And then from here, we're going to do a nice roll up. So take a breath in and exhale. Start to curl the spine. You could use your hands here to assist. Pull the belly way in and sit all the way up. It's really nice for your spine to do the roll-ups, because by pulling the belly in, you're really stretching in between each vertebra. And so let's come onto the knees next. And we're going to come into Virasana. Some of you might not need props. I do, because I have osteoarthritis in my knees. I don't have any pain. They just don't bend as deeply as they used to. So I just give myself a little space in back of the knee, right at that calf, and I press my thumb in, and it gives me a lot of space. And then I come to seated. And now once I'm here, my feet are to the outsides of my hips. I'm pushing down, and I'm trying to sit up really tall. I'm going to take Jnana Mudra, Mudra of knowledge. It's your inner knowledge and universal knowledge coming together. So feeling very fulfilled as you close the eyes and just trust that balance, and be in that for a moment, fulfilled. And then inhale, slowly opening the eyes. We're just going to lean back a little, but take the tail under as you do that. Feel a nice stretch on the top of the hips, rolling the shoulders open. And then inhale, rising up. And then from here, we're going to take it into a back bend. So let's just find those angel arms. And everything happens from like the middle of the back all the way up. So really engage in the back muscles and just take this somewhere where you want to go. Maybe you want to reach the arms. Lift. Lift, reach, and then inhale, coming back. And now we're going to take it to Ustrasana, or camel pose. So coming on up to the knees, I'm going to use the blocks here to give a little height. But if you didn't have them and you wanted height, you could tuck your toes under. That works too. So from here, these are by my ankles. Let's first find the base. So press the shins down and feel the engagement in the back of the legs and the hips. And then from there, we're going to just start to open the sternum and feel the back bend from the middle of the back up. And you want to get that nice and even. So you don't have to take the head back right away. You can focus on the legs and then feeling the pelvis, get a nice stretch here. And then maybe at some point, maybe you just touch your fingers and you lift the sternum. Maybe your whole hand can come down. Maybe you don't even need the blocks and your hands are on your feet. But wherever you are, start to lift up, lift up, lift up. And only go to a place where you feel fulfillment and it feels nice. Lifting up. And then inhale, rising. And release. And now we're going to make our way back to seated, and we'll come all the way down. So from here, I'm going to use the blocks again for an assisted back bend because it feels really nice. So I use this level, and one block is for the sternum. It's right under the sternum. It's actually for the shoulder blades, right? Lifting that, helping you to lift that sternum up. And the other one is for the head. So sit up tall. We're just going to roll back. Of course, we're going to have to adjust because I just kind of guessed where the blocks went. So as you go down, you're going to need to adjust. And just make sure that the block is right on the bottom edge of your shoulder blade. So you should feel a nice lift of the sternum. And then from here, reach the arms. And notice if you're feeling tension in the shoulders, draw the shoulders down a little and see if you can lift the sternum more. Lift the sternum more. And you can actually send the butt back. And then sometimes that takes away some of the tension in the shoulders, the front of the shoulders. And see where you can go with that. If this was too hard, you could be grabbing your elbows. But play around with even elevating and depressing the shoulders a couple times. Just notice how does that feel? Reaching. Sometimes we try to do everything from the shoulders and the neck. And then from here, let's go ahead and roll up so we can take the blocks out. Inhale, exhale, curling. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the blocks out. I'm going to keep one close by and inhale here, curling to go back. Let's come into Setu Bandhasana. Take a breath in and really engage under the butt muscles, the butt, and lift up as high as you can. Notice what's going on in your neck, not forward, not back, right in the middle. You could interlace your hands and try and lift up higher. You could hold on to the mat if that was too difficult to get into. Just lift, lift, lift. Feel the butt working. So many good things coming on, so much fulfillment here. Lift, lift, lift. And then from here, let's go ahead and reach the arms. Lift the heels if you can. And slowly curling to come down, pulling the belly in. All the way down. And hands come down. And then from here, we're just going to come into our closing. But if you wanted to go on and it was in your practice, you could go ahead and do a full Urdhva Dhanurasana or push up into back bend at this point if you wanted to. I have that in some other videos if you'd like to try. But just find, for now we're just going to come into a supported inversion. So we'll put the block under the pelvis and then let the legs come up. But again, it's okay if you don't have the prop. But once you're here, you want to try and balance that pelvis. So you don't want to be this way or this way, the ribs in. Really use the legs. So engage the front of the legs, stretch the back of the legs. And then those of you who want to, and if it's not contraindicated, as usual, you could come into Halasana, plow pose. You could come into shoulder stand. I'm just going to go through this a little quickly, so you could pause the video here and take your time. There's many variations you could work on here. So let's go ahead and lower like single legs. You could do Baddha Konasana. Some people do full lotus. We come here. And then this is Karna Pidasana, where you bend the knees. And then let's slowly start to come down. And we'll all meet here. And pause. And then we'll bend the knees. And let's lift the hips up, come off the block. Let's take a moment to take the feet together, the knees apart. Reach your arms for Supta Baddha Konasana. You could close your eyes. You could pause the video here as well. But let's go ahead and take everything together. And I'm going to go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left knee and pull in for a nice glute stretch on that right side. Shoulders away from your ears. Pulling in, and I'm actively trying to open this right knee as well. And then coming down, we'll take it into a twist. Letting your right foot come down. Coming back, we'll go to the other side. And I'm gently using the weight of this ankle to pull down. So it's a nice side stretch. You could take your gaze to the left and then bring it back. We'll do the other side. Pull in. And then slowly lowering. And then let's take it to the right. Take that left foot down. Maybe you want to take your gaze to the left. And then bring it back. And now we'll go the other way. So I'm just using that left ankle as a little weight to pull down. Maybe you want to take your gaze to the right. And then bringing it back. And now go ahead and pull everything in. Kind of rock around a little bit. And let's take it to Shavasana. So you should feel really fulfilled as you do nothing here, but it's alive. It's total fulfillment from your practice. And you could stay here. And I'm going to go over some inspirational quotes on fulfillment. And you can just stay here and soak it in. I'm going to go ahead though and come up to seated and go through the quotes. So if you're coming up to seated, you can just find that same seat you were in at the beginning of class, or you're in Shavasana, and you just take a moment to notice, where are you now? As opposed to the beginning of class, do you feel a sense of fulfillment in your practice? And now I'm going to read some inspirational quotes on fulfillment. Fulfillment isn't found in doing more. It's found in doing what matters with presence and heart. A fulfilled life isn't measured by what you achieve, but by how deeply you feel, love, and live. When you align your actions with your values, fulfillment becomes a natural result, not a distant goal. True fulfillment comes not from seeking more, but from appreciating what already is. You don't have to chase fulfillment. It blooms when you show up fully for the moment you're in. Let this theme of fulfillment resonate in everything you do. Namaste.